Alright, what's going on, guys? HunterXHunter 391 is officially out, and what a beautiful colored panel we got right here. It says the big comeback. We got Gon, we got Yusuke from Yu Yu Hakusho. Just absolutely gorgeous. With that said, guys, it's been 4 years since the last chapter of HunterXHunter came out, so the excitement levels are just absolutely off the charts right now for the community. So with that said, let's just get right into it. Alright, so we pick off where we left off in chapter 390. If you remember, Hinrigh used his ability to turn the guards' guns into snakes, and then those snakes ended up shooting the guards. So you see the bloody mess of that. So the two guards shot off their heads, and it's an absolute bloody mess right now. Now his two associates, Lynch and Zachary, decide that they're going to go after Hisoka right now, while Hinrigh goes after the Haley family. However, Hinrigh does give him a warning to not act without his permission. Now, Zachary splatters his blood up against a wall, and it turns out that his blood has like tiny little eyeballs in it. And he's using it for reconnaissance right now. He's using it to search out Hisoka. Now, Lynch takes a droplet of blood in her hand and she squeezes upon it, wondering how you kill one of these things. And Zachary's like, well, why would you want to kill one of those things? They only last for 30 or 40 minutes and then they return to my body. Now, I'm wondering after the 30 or 40 minutes, if the blood doesn't return to his body in a timely fashion, I would imagine it just doesn't come back whatsoever. So it's possible if he doesn't use too much blood that he could be put in a precarious situation. So we'll have to keep an eye out for that in the future. Hinrigh is then seen walking around with a bunch of pigeons surrounding him. Hinrigh then catches a glimpse of the girl that rebuffed him in an earlier chapter and decides that if he's able to track her location, that he might be able to get the whereabouts of Morena and to be able to take down the Haley family. So what he does here is rather interesting. He takes a video camera from a couple and transforms it into a cat. Now, if you guys remember, even though he transforms an object into an animal, it still retains its abilities. So for example, the guns that transformed into snakes still had the ability to shoot someone like it did to the guards in the earlier parts of the chapter. Now, the cat camera can still video record people and travel around the boat. So this is actually a very useful option for Hinrigh. Now, Hinrigh begins to wonder if the Haley family is planning a second-class rebellion. And as he's pondering this and other things, 3 members of the Haley family spot him. Now, even though he's outnumbered by the 3 Haley members, they determine that even if they get 5 meters within him, that he'll be able to sense it, so they have to be very careful. So what they're planning to do is to create a diversion. One of them's going to go in and attack him, while the other 2 sort of surprise him. So anyway, Paduli, which I think is how you pronounce his name, it looks like it's French, decides to turn his hand into a hammer. And he's really getting off on the fact that he's becoming a lethal weapon, stating that it's all he's ever dreamed to be. And it seems like it's his life purpose, along with the other members of the Haley family, to live out Morena's dream and to service her in any way possible. And that means killing Hinrigh right here and right now. So he lunges forward, catching Hinrigh by surprise, or what seems to be surprise, because just as he's about to whack Hinrigh in the head with his hammer, his hand gets caught by a pair of handcuffs. And it turns out that the handcuff is attached to a bird. So the pigeons that were following Hinrigh, they were actually handcuffs, and Hinrigh turned them into pigeons. So one end of the handcuff is around Paduli's hand, and the other is still a pigeon that's flying away, so it's preventing him from killing Hinrigh. So the other part of the handcuff subdues Paduli. However, the 2 Haley members start to approach Hinrigh, so it's 3 against 1 at this moment. Now the other 2 members start shooting at Hinrigh. However, the pigeons, which were handcuffs previously, are reinforced with nets, so normal bullets are not going to do anything against them. Now Paduli decides to change his hand from a hammer into a drill. I don't know how he got out of the handcuffs, but he's going straight towards Hinrigh's head. Now, unfortunately for Hinrigh, this caught him a little bit by surprise, so the only way that he can block this attack is with his own hand. So the drill goes straight through his hand. Yeah, looks a little bit painful here, guys. Hinrigh then uses a second pigeon to lock up the guy's leg, and he's still got the handcuff on the other hand, so he combines the handcuffs so that he locks up his leg and his hand, so the guy is like immobilized once again. Now the guy's desperate at this point, so he decides to change his hand from a drill into an axe, and he's looking to kill Hinrigh on the spot, but Hinrigh just grabs his arm and he takes the arm and he smashes him with the axe and he finishes him off. So pretty brutal ending for this guy, you know, not only was he locked up, but he got killed by his own weapon. And then the chapter ends with it saying that Hinrigh killed 2 birds with 1 stone. What domination. And yeah, that was a very exciting fight, guys. Hinrigh is proving to be a very formidable foe, and we know that he's looking for Hisoka, so at some point in the future, he might interact with Hisoka, they might have a battle, and that would be a very interesting battle. Now, Hisoka doesn't use objects, well, except for his playing cards, but he's always got it attached to his bungee gum, so it would be very interesting if Hinrigh was able to turn like the playing cards into an animal and sort of trick Hisoka. Of course, I would always take Hisoka in that battle. Hisoka's just so crafty and so powerful, but it would be a very interesting battle nonetheless. And it looks like things between the Haley and the Shiyu family are really heating up here, guys. Zachary and Lynch are looking for Hisoka, Hinrigh is looking for the members of the Haley family, so we'll have to see in chapter 392 if things kind of escalate a little further. We'll have to see if we go back to Kurapika's Nen training. So yeah, things are really heating up on the boat, guys, and it's anyone's guess at what's going to happen next. But thanks for listening, guys. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you on the flip side.